In this video, I'm going to explain a few ways to really improve your Bookmaker account health. It's important we have account health with the bookmakers such as Bet365, Sky Bet, Paddy Power, etc. because we're going to use them pretty much on a daily basis to make significant profits. If you just stumble across this video on YouTube or any other platform, just go ahead and visit arbshooters.com to get started. We'll explain everything from the beginning. It's a great way for anybody to make money online and a fantastic side hustle. There's three core areas I'm going to cover in this video to help you have longevity with your bookmaker accounts. One, how much you should start placing bets worth with arb shooting, and when is it best to start increasing the bet sizes. Two, mug betting. This is a very big topic which I'll go into some detail about. And three, some extra tips that we have learned over the years of being in the industry, things that we know bookmakers like. So if they like what we're doing, there's chances that we're going to have a better account health with them, which is great for our profitability in the long term. So step one, how much should you begin with arb betting? So let's say for example you just open up your account with Bet365 and you're going to jump on your first arb alert. It's commonly okay to go with stakes of around 20 to 30 pounds. This is what we recommend new members to start with because you will still make a good profit, and placing 20 to 30 pound bets is very typical for anybody who has just opened up an account. Do this for around 2 weeks and you'll start doing a few mug bets as well if you've just opened up the account. I'll go into that a little bit later. But in your first 2 weeks, I'd say place 20 to 30 pound bets on your arbs. Now when you want to start increasing the bet sizes, say from 20 to 30 pounds to 100 pounds or 200 pounds, it's absolutely fine, but it's really down to you when you're comfortable. After a week or two, you can start increasing the bet sizes. Now let's say for example arb shooters deliver you an alert where you're getting a return of 50%. So when we place a say 200 pound bet with the bookmaker, we'll profit 100 pounds. Placing a 200 pound bet straight off the bat within a few weeks of having your account might flag, and we want to avoid that. So a really good tip is to split your bet stake into 4 separate 50 pound bets on the same betting slip. So say for example you're betting on Hungry Hippo, the horse, place 50 pound bet, submit that bet slip, open it up again, submit it again. Do it 4 times because that way a bookmaker sees it as you're placing 50 pound bets rather than a big bang 200 pound bet, and it kind of helps you stay under the radar. Mug betting. So what is a mug bet? A mug bet is pretty much what typical punters would bet on. Things like big Champions League events, football events, Premiership games, live horse racing, loads of high profile sports that happen that a lot of normal punters would place bets on, and we want to do a little bit of that too because we want to not always take value from the bookmaker. We need to give a little bit back, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So how to place a mug bet is really easy. All we're going to do is, our intention is to not make a profit here. It's just to concede a small loss just to keep the bookmaker happy, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So if you just go online and search for profitsquirrel.co.uk, you can create a free account with Profit Squirrel, and just go ahead and click on the odds matcher here. This will bring in a load of great matches where the odds are quite close to each other. So let's say for example we just made a nice big win with Bet365, and I'm going to go place a mug bet with Bet365. Okay, we want to avoid ratings over 100. I'll come on to that later because essentially any rating over 100 is an arb as well. So let's say a typical high profile game. Here we go. Aston Villa versus Manchester City. where you bet on Manchester City to win with Bet365, and then we're going to bet on Manchester City to not win with Smarkets, the exchange. So let's say I was going to place this mug bet. What would happen? So English League, that's a high profile game. And let's say we placed a £30 mug bet. So at £30 mug bet to back Manchester City to win at odds of 1.16, to lay them is 1.17. Smarkets lay commission is actually 2%, so let's just calculate that. Okay, so regardless of the outcome of this event, I'm going to lose 35 pence. Don't worry, this is a small loss that we are happy to concede to come across like a mug, like a typical punter. Because with arb shooters, we're taking a lot of value all the time. Let's say, for example, you put £100 down on an arb where the return was 30%. So you made £30 pretty easily. So to keep the bookmakers happy, we need to mix it up a little bit and act like we're just a normal punter. So for you to place a £30 bet and then hedge your risk in Smarkets and concede a 35 pence loss is not a big deal. It's actually great for your long-term account health. It's even better when we lose at the bookmaker too, because this way the bookmaker sees us as people that are losing with them, which basically means that they are profiting from us. They just don't know that we're placing a mug bet, which basically means if we lose in the bookmaker, we're winning the exchange anyway. So we're covering most of our potential risk anyway, so we're fine. So this is an example how to place a mug bet. So what I'll do now is go ahead to Bet365, bet Man City to win, and then hedge my risk and place the lay bet with Manchester City. If you have any questions, just ask in the community forum on the WhatsApp group or on Telegram. So that's how you place a mug bet. That's how you can find a profile event to place a mug bet on and calculate it. When should you place a mug bet? That's interesting. So you should place a mug bet whenever you profit big from an arb alert. Like I just said, you made say £30 from an arb on Bet365. It's a really good idea that the next day, you find 5 seconds to just place a mug bet. I'd also place a mug bet every time you cash out on an arb alert. Say for example, you got a £50 back bet on Sky Bet and you've decided to cash out to make £5-6. You should go ahead and place a £50 mug bet on that bookmaker as well. And also, it's always good to place the odd mug bet on high profile games like UEFA Cup and Champions League and FA Cup and big high profile Champions League games when there's a quiet day with arb shooting. So typically Monday to Wednesday evenings are pretty quiet for us. So those are good days to place some mug bets. Don't be disheartened by these small few penny losses, because the game is to win in the short term and long term. And this is a very proven strategy that we should all implement, especially when you've just created a new account with a bookmaker. Here are some great tips. Number 1, stick to rounded figures. Place the £20 bets, £25 bets, £30 bets, £50 bets, but don't start placing odd numbers of £16, £60, £33, £25. It looks very odd to a bookmaker that you're placing such obscure bets, so stay away from that. When you're placing your mug bets, place them at the same value at least of your arb shooter profit bets. So say for example you placed a £30 bet on an arb alert and you made say £10 guaranteed profit. Don't place a mug bet of £5 to make up for it. We want to give the same value back. So place a £30 mug bet back for the bookmaker. Try not to withdraw too often from the bookmaker. We want to keep them happy. So just keep your money in the bookmaker account as long as you can. And, start taking the money out of your exchange accounts instead. Use that money for whatever you like to do with the profits you're making with arb shooting. Go for higher odds when you're placing mug bets too, because the higher the odds are, the less likely you are to win with the bookmaker, and the more likely you are to win in the exchange. So that's a really good tip. And mix it up, have fun. Once you've created your account with, say, Paddy Power or Sky Bet, and you're taking advantage of the ARB alerts, get involved with some of the other areas, not only mug bets on other sports, but you will start receiving offers and promotions for casinos and other risk-free casino spin offers. For example, 10 risk-free spins on a certain slot game online. It's completely risk-free. It shows that you are not just there to take value from the sportsbook section, and it is really good to mix up your profile. It looks really good in the bookmaker's eyes. Some other steps that we have kind of covered. Number one, avoid being a bonus abuser. Don't redeem every single free bet or every single promotion. Number two, stick to rounded numbers, as we've mentioned before. Number three kind of goes with number four, actually. So if you have to withdraw, then start using e-wallets. A great e-wallet you can use is Squirrel, Skrill. I'll add a link to the description of this video on YouTube so you can join them. It's free. And don't always go for the best odds. Place the odd mug bet, and overall lose with the bookmaker. And I've touched on this before. So go for high odds when you're placing mug bets. Bet on the weaker team to win. Let's say, for example, Liverpool are playing Norwich City. It's very unlikely Norwich are going to win. So betting on Norwich to win with the bookmaker and then hedging a risk that will cover your risk, then that's going to look really good, because you're increasing your chances of losing with the bookie, which is what they want. They want you to look like you're losing because they're getting the profit, but we're going to mug bet, so we should be absolutely fine. A vital question we'll no doubt come across in our futures is what to do if you're eventually gubbed by a bookmaker. What should you do next? Can you still profit? Can you still use arbshooter.com? If you sign up to this video explainer on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. I'll explain how you can continue making profit and what you can do to continue taking advantage of arbshooters.com. So hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys very soon.